Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Day's Podcast along with a new video. So, we are talking today. Before I even tell you what we're talking about today, like and subscribe. Thank you for much. Sorry, y'all. Thank you so much for watching and listening and enjoying everything that I have been putting out for y'all. I really appreciate it. And definitely check out Spotify and Patreon. There'll be more Patreon videos up as long as I keep going. It's like, no, I'm gonna continue to make more. As I always say, you guys know. So, Blood on the Dance Floor, History in the Mix. This is what we're talking about today by Michael Jackson. So, this is a remix album by Michael Jackson. It was released May 20th, 1997, so I was about to turn 3. I just told my age. Yeah, so I was about to turn 3. And is the second album also released by MJJ Productions, Jackson's own record label. So this album pretty much was just for him to really like get that generation wealth prepared, because to be honest with you, it was in the midst of him having children. So we weren't even knowing he was going to have children. He just said, "Hey, I have kids now." And who knows, I might be the same damn way. You know, like a lot of people, I'm not even going to say it's a bad thing. Always be prideful of your children. But a lot of people sometimes now, because he was kind of one of the people that was just letting it be just something where it's like it ain't none of their business, and I'm glad people are kind of tapping in now. But I just feel like a lot of people now feel like when it comes to children, I'll tell you when I'm ready. You know, I'll do it when I'm ready. The population's growing now, but that's just what they feel. But yes, remix album. And the album comprises 8 remixes of songs from Jackson's 9th studio album, History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1. We just talked about that, so definitely check that out. And 5 new songs. Jackson was involved primarily with the production of new material. The remixes were produced by other artists. Blood on the Dance Floor, History in the Mix incorporates R&B, pop, industrial, hip-hop, house, funk, and new jack swing. It concerns themes such as drug addiction, sex, relationships, and paranoia. Though Blood on the Dance Floor, History in the Mix received minimal promotion by Jackson standards, particularly in the US. The short film Michael Jackson's Ghost, 2 singles, Blood on the Dance Floor and Ghosts, are a promotional single and a music video were issued as promotion. Although initial sales in the US were seen as disappointing for Jackson, the album peaked at number 1 in France, Belgium, Spain, and New Zealand. Michael Jackson's Ghost was premiered at the Cannes Film Festival as part of Blood on the Dance Floor, History in the Mix's promotion. The short film, also considered the official music video for Ghosts, won the Bob Fosse Award for Best Choreography in the Music Video. Reviews at the time of Blood on the Dance Floor, History in the Mix were largely mixed, with some critics feeling that Jackson had already explored these musical themes and others criticizing what they perceived as weak vocals. Others critics were more favorable, noting that the album, for its incorporation of genres Jackson previously had not explored, justifying the use of previous themes, but the brutal honesty. Blood on the Dance Floor, History in the Mix has sold over 6 million copies worldwide, making it the best-selling remix album in history. Okay, so despite the US, by the late 90s, just not really feeling the fact that it's not new, he's not doing anything new too much right now, he still has the best remix album of all time. Okay, that's legend. Y'all don't want my remix album like that? It's still the best selling of all time. Like, period. Like, and that's when he started to realize, like, overseas, I'll go over there any damn time. But around here, y'all starting to act a little funny to me, and I'm not feeling that. And I'm really trying, and I can understand from his point of view, where it's like these songs were, of course, recorded from 1990 to 1997. It's unfortunate. On October 2020, October 20th, 2020. I'm sorry, I'm seeing 20 and 2000. October 20th, 2000, it was certified platinum. So by 2000, it was certified platinum. Despite the fact that it had to take a couple years to do that, and it shouldn't have, it still went platinum by 2000, which is in the midst of his next album, which we will talk about. We will talk about Invincible. So, yes, the 23-page album booklet contains the lyrics of Blood on the Dance Floor, Stranger in Moscow, and History. The 8 remixes from History are given additional titles such as Flight Time Remix and Teas and House Club Mix. The booklet contains many images from the History World Tour and Ghost Film. Towards the end of the booklet, Jackson pays respect to friends such as Elizabeth Taylor and Elton John, his family, employees, and fans. So he wanted people to know that even though this is not completely new, I am going to be doing something. But yes, initial sales in the US were seen as disappointing for Jackson. It peaked at number 24 on the US Billboard 200. And after 4 weeks, the record had sold 92,000 copies. Now see, selling that now, people are feeling like you're going off because ain't nobody buying nothing. But at this time, it was like, damn, what did he do? Despite this, long-term sales were stronger. It was certified platinum in May 2000. Oh, yes. For shipments of at least 1 million units. It was certified gold in Canada for a minimum of 50,000 shipments. In Europe, the record has been certified for shipments of at least 2 million copies. So like I said, like overseas, they were loving it. They were like, oh my God, we want more. Overseas, they were loving it. Here, it was just like, all right. And it's just like, what? This is Michael Jackson. Yes, Blood on the Dance Floor, History in the Mix debuted atop the UK album chart. By July 1997, it had sold 250,000 units in the United Kingdom and 455,000 units in Germany. Like, he was ranking sales overseas, and here it was just like, like what? I'm appalled. I'm appalled. The album also peaked at number 1 in France, Belgium, Spain, and New Zealand. Since its debut, the album has sold an estimate 6 million copies worldwide. Yes, making it the best-selling remix album ever released. Okay. So yeah, critical reception. Labeled the album's theme predatory women, jealous underlings, and the evil media continue to obsess him. He's once again playing the victim, the world's most powerless billionaire, it seems, mulling about forces conspiring against his heavenly self. Ooh, why are they being mean? He said of the lead single, Jackson coughs up a series of strangulated mutters and munchkin hiccups in lieu of a vocal, while its chilly Fox industrial music proves as appealing as a migraine. They were so mean to him. Oh my God. Ghosts and Is It Scary boast a few innovative sounds, but no real melodies. No, they were just, but that's the weirdest thing. That is so, oh no. They didn't have to do him a retrospective perception. A Jackson biographer, Jay Randy, Tara Borelli, gave a retrospective analysis of the album in the biography, The Magic and the Madness. He felt the album contained kick-ass dance remixes. Several of other songs on Blood on the Dance Floor are also memorable. The collection was not a success in America. It was dismissed by critics and much of his audience, who seemed confused as to whether it was a new release or some kind of hybrid combination of songs. He felt that Blood on the Dance Floor was one of Jackson's best songs, but that the US public was more interested in the controversial tabloid stories about his personal life. Yeah. At least someone had sense to say, like, listen, it's really just the people just shunning on you. They just feel more interested in just all the negativity that's going on. And it's sad because it's like, at such a magnitude that he was at, it couldn't have been... This is my thing, and I'll talk more about it in the Patreon because I'm going to keep it brief. Like, when you have such credibility and accusations come out, people will really turn on you if it's factual. And rightfully so, because no, you don't do things like that. So when it came to this, his remix album, in the way that people still was just like, all right, we got history, we love history, but we're just not understanding why these controversies are going on, and you're supposed to show us that beyond a remix album that you're just better than this. And it's like, this man toured with history. He just got back from a tour. Unknowingly, y'all don't know that he has children and going to have more children, because we're talking about Invincible soon. But it's just it's baffling, because still to this day, it's not something that's completely, it's not even like they want to say allegedly this happened. No, I don't believe this happened. I don't believe he did these cynical things. I don't think he was that guy. Like, I think he was a great man, and when it came to the peak of his fame, people took advantage. And it got to a point that they did not like that he had so much. They did not like the fact that he was just able to just breathe, if we're all the way real, and be so great. You just never know. And I just feel like that's not just for him. I feel like that's for a few stars out there that we may not have, or may still have, and it's unfortunate. But, and this is me keeping a very unbiased mind, and always will, and has not stopped since, for those that have done something and it is proven, oh yeah, no, we don't feel bad. We don't feel bad. I don't care how you look. I don't care if anyone finds you attractive after. No. No means no. And you should not be doing anything that you should not be doing, period. You just, no. Consent is real. It's real. You can want something with somebody as far as a relationship and stuff, but these people are, like, people were saying he's messing with kids. Like, that's sick. And he wasn't like that. As far as adults, when we're adults and we're talking about Me Too and all that, like, there's consent. And I just feel like, there wasn't enough evidence then and even now to even show, like, to me, like, I just don't think it's true. But as far as for the people that it's just been proven, like, no, this person's nasty, yeah, get them out of here. So the track listing: Blood on the Dance Floor, which is track 1, Morphine, which is track 2, Superfly Sister, which is track 3, then you have Ghosts, which is track 4, 5, Is It Scary, Scream Louder, which is track 6, and that's pretty much a remix with Janet. Money, which is having a remix. Too Bad has a remix. Stranger in Moscow, This Time Around, Earth Song, You Are Not Alone, and History have remixes. And like I said, the album did well as far as overseas. I'm looking at the number ones for overseas, and over here, you mean to tell me it only debuted at 24? Y'all was hating. Okay? Well, not us MJ fans, but I'm saying the general public. Y'all was hating. U.S. top R&B hip hop albums. You know, with R&B and hip hop, number 12. But that's still hating. It's a shame that the public was just like number 24, but you know, cultural black people said 12, and it's like, oh wow. All right, well. And I'm not saying cultural black people, like any race, don't do R&B and hip hop. Everyone can do whatever they want, respectfully, safely, and in consent, and not sick, because he don't do that, and I know most of y'all don't. There's some people out there, be careful. Yeah, as far as with New Zealand and Spanish albums, number 1. As far as French albums, number 1. Dutch and Danish, number 1. Belgian albums, number 1. You know, I don't see Japan on here. Listen, he had to do what he had to do. But yes, sold 1 million copies. Europe went up double platinum out there. But worldwide, it's 6 million. More than probably now, based off streams. But yeah, he did what he had to do. And from this album, he took some time to just kind of just live and just kind of figure out a few things, because with his partnership with Sony, he just was kind of understanding, like, you know, I kind of want to do things my way. I don't want too much of this or that anymore. And based off of pretty much 40 years of his life, if we're going into 1998, it's like, I've been label to label. I've been making timeless music. I want me now. So it's just, it is what it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with more.